Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around this beautiful, beautiful world. Many years ago, I watched a TEDx talk by Peter Sage talking about the 4 levels of consciousness. Then I started digging in, realized that he wasn't the creator of those, the founders of those 4 levels. Many psychologists have been talking about the 4 levels. Abraham Hicks has been talking about the 4 levels of consciousness since 1976, I think. It's not so important who started talking about it. What is more important is what are those 4 levels of consciousness and how to navigate through them, and what is it here for you as information. Level 1 is to me, victim consciousness. This state is when we're convinced that we're a victim of someone else, of external forces, and our mood is constantly dictated by the ups and downs of lives. So they are these are the people who constantly are pointing their finger and trying to find whose fault this is because they're never to blame. Most probably you know such kind of people, I'm sure. When the people in that level of consciousness let go of the victim mentality, they get off the couch and do something about their lives. In realizing that they are not victims, they realize that they are in charge of their own lives, that they are in control, which means that you have moved to the consciousness called by me, which is the next level. If you have people in your team right now at work who live in to me victim mentality and to me mode, constantly feel like victims, you have the opportunity to leave them as they are, listen to their problems every day and find the solution yourself. This might make you a good manager in their eyes, but not a leader who cares about the team and help the team to go up and develop. If you want to really help the people in your team, then get them out from to me victim mentality. And how to do that is by using motivational videos. You can get a psychologist, life coach, happiness coach. There's so many people nowadays that are helping people who feel stuck in their life. So level 2 is by me. As I mentioned, the by me is the responsibility consciousness. In by me state is the state where it replaces the victim mentality with personal responsibility. People who live with the consciousness of by me realize that only they are responsible for their life and what happens or does not happen in their life. Everything that happened to them is something they cause themselves. They feel so good knowing that they're in control, in charge, that they take everything as a challenge and work hard. Sometimes these people work 12, 15 hours a day just to make their dream come true. It is the do, give, make mode. And the choice what to create in your life is by taking action. It's that is the state. At some point in life, though, people realize that no matter how hard they try, things stop happening. They start going around in circles and realize that there's something much bigger than them, something that is beyond the 12, 15 hours of work every day and nonstop doing and creating everything that is happening in their life. Once these people realize that there's something bigger, no matter how much effort and hard work they put in, how much control they try to apply, nothing happens in their lives. Literally, it's like a big movie screen, like someone pressed the pause button on that movie screen and everything froze. Regardless what you do, everything stopped. And then it comes the hard part. To give up the need for control, not to give up control, as Tony Robbins often very wrongly actually explains. give up your control to move to the next level of consciousness. No, that is not the truth. The need to control, the need for control, not the control itself, is the thing to give up on that level. Here's the difference. When people have the need to control, they micromanage everything and everyone around them. Letting go of control means to get to a chaos and anarchy. Letting go of the need for control means to still know what's going on, who is doing what and when, but taking your hands off micromanagement and the whole desire to tell everyone how to do something. You let people do an action the way they want. More important is the result, not the how they make that happen, that result happen. How can you work with people who are in the conscious by me? If you've got such kind of people in your team, you can explain to them that they need that the need to control what they have leads to complete exhaustion, physical, emotional, mental exhaustion. There is no need to micromanage everything and to know how everything was done. Explain the difference between control and the need for control. Be there for them, to consciously work on their actions, support them to change towards the next level of consciousness, which is called through me. To move from by me to through me, you have to let go that need for control. Level 3 is through me. That is the surrender consciousness. It means living fully in the present moment and letting the universe, God, the source, it doesn't matter how we call it, bring everything to you at the perfect time, in the perfect place, by the perfect people for that situation. If in by me people play the role of the creator, then in the through me, they're just the vessel in which the universe play itself. The feeling is like you're in a flow and all things happen naturally. There is no effort there, it's effortlessly. The greatest innovators, musicians, the writers may say that their ideas, the music, the stories they wrote, they all came through them. This is the state in which we listen fully to our intuition, our internal voice, and we don't ask that question why, but only follow so we can understand the why later on. It is also the state where people connect with their source of energy and find the balance between the body, the mind, and the spirit, where every action is inspired action, not just an action, but an inspired action, following and trusting the intuition. If you have such kind of people in your team, I strongly advise you to use their brains when you're planning future steps, when you're hiring new people, when you're revising the company's core mission and vision and values. People like Steve Jobs in the past before he died, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk right now, Richard Branson, they're all through me state where every idea that comes in their mind is inspired, written down, given to their team to work on, and left there. At some point, the people in this level of consciousness actually realize that there is still something missing, and that missing is the living in separation. Me and the others, my family and the other family, my neighborhood against the other neighborhood, my city against the other city, my country against the other country, my continent versus the other continent. There is a separation. When they remove that division, that feeling for separateness, they pass on to the fourth consciousness level, which is asmi, which is the oneness consciousness. Some people call it unconditional love as well. Asmi is a life where everything and everyone is in unity, in oneness, in wholeness. What exists is unconditional love and appreciation for yourself, everything and everyone. We don't need to change where and who we are. We don't need to change the others and people and everything around us. Everything turns into a human experience, not a need for something or someone. That flow from through me is a flow to oneness. Here, the four consciousness again. To me is the victim consciousness. When you replace the victim mentality, you switch to by me. By me is the responsibility consciousness. When you give up the need for control, you move to through me. That is the surrender consciousness. When you stop living from a place of separation and division, you go to as me, which is the oneness consciousness. There is no right or wrong when it comes to which level of consciousness you live in. Write in the comments if you know people from each of those levels of consciousness, and also type in the comment which level do you live in. These four levels are not created to self-judge or feel inferior, but to understand that there is something more that you can develop in yourself and your life. That's why I created that video. Also, when you communicate with other people from now on, knowing that the different levels of consciousness will help you speak to the other person using the language of that person, because of all conversations now are going to be according the level of consciousness you see in them. It will be so much easier to speak their language. There is a consciousness leadership group, CLG, study that estimated that 97% of the people spend 90% of their time in to me and by me state. Knowing this, you can change the way you communicate, the way you lead your team as a leader, not as a manager. You can change your actions, you can change your expectations, and that is going to change your human experience. Type in the comment below if you know people from each of those levels, which level you are yourself. I am the founder of the Wise Up program, and I run 14-day courses where I help people to go on awareness and wising up journey by giving you 12 techniques to move seamlessly from one level to consciousness you are right now into the level of consciousness you want to be. Ask me in the comment when the next Wise Up course is. I will give you the dates. It will be an absolute pleasure to have you in the course. I'm sending you a lot of love and a lot of energy wherever you are around this beautiful world. I will see you in the course.